Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out this video. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you guys some major updates to our medieval Lego layout. Now, we've been very busy over the last few weeks adding to the Lions Knight side of our table, and I can't wait to share with you what we've been doing. In the meantime, if you are as big of a Lego Castle fan as we are, please be sure to help us out and hit that subscribe button. Now, if you've seen any of our other videos, you'll know that for the most part, we have been focusing primarily on the Black Falcon faction. We've given them a castle and then also an accompanying village. And aside from the nice little memory of my childhood there, the King's Castle from 1984, we don't have anything for the Lions Knights. In fact, the Lions Knight side of the table until recently has been storage, but that has finally changed, and we have now given the Black Falcons a formidable opponent. And there she is, my new pride and joy, the Lions Knight Castle from just a couple of years ago. Could not wait to get this. I think this castle, seeing it, was what really brought me back into the Lego castles from my childhood. It was just, the price point was just so expensive, but luckily I have a fantastic wife who got it for me this past Christmas, and I just couldn't bring myself to open it because I just kind of wanted to savor it for a little while. But we finally opened it, finally put it together. Stretched it out over a couple of weeks because I wanted to enjoy the build, wanted to enjoy it, and it was everything I had hoped it would be. Just an amazing set, so many cool little bells and whistles, some building techniques that I hadn't seen before. Now I'm still new to Lego, so more experienced builders probably have seen some of these, but it was just such a fun build. Now, I'm not going to do a full review of this here today because many of you have already seen reviews. It's been out for a couple of years. But I do want to share with you just a couple of things that I'm doing with this to make it sort of fit with what we're doing here with our Lions Knight Village. So as amazing as this set is, one of the areas where I think it truly lacks is the ramp. For lack of a better term, the ramp was just trash. Not very cool at all. For as amazing as that set looks, it's like they just kind of phoned it in for the last 5% there. So I found a builder on Rebrickable, a builder by the name of Jay Hobbs, and he had a really, really cool build, very good reviews, and I'm working on that now. Don't have it done yet. I still need some pieces for it, but hopefully with the next update, I'll have that ramp done. The other thing that I'm doing with this castle is I want to keep the back of it open so that my son has access so that he can play with it. He's really enjoyed the opportunity to play with this castle, but I also want to make sure that I keep it from becoming 5,000 pieces on the floor. So I'm adding a floor here that sort of does a couple of things. It adds to the aesthetics of the castle itself, creates a courtyard, but then it also locks the castle in place so that way he can play with it and I don't have to worry about it falling on the floor at any time. The plan is to add eventually a second castle to this. I've seen some really cool plans on Rebrickable that use a second castle, and it would give us an extra 22 minifigures for us to have to play with, so that would be fun too. But I'm going to eventually add a tower here and then possibly a church over to the other side there. So that's what this looks like right now. Hopefully we'll get some pieces in soon and we can finish that courtyard. And here is the much anticipated Medieval Market Square that just came out just a few weeks ago. I actually waited in line. The nearest Lego store for me is about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes away. So I went down on the day that this was released so that I could be one of the first to get it. I'm probably never going to do that again. That was a bit crazy. I couldn't believe how many people were in line and how much these people were buying so that they could be the first to get the set. So I probably won't do that again, but it was quite a cool experience if you've never done it. But the plan is to extend the road that is right there behind my Black Falcon army, to extend the road over a bridge and then of course fill in a lot of that blue with green, and then somewhere in here have the beginning of the village. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to set that up, but I do know that I want to have access for it for my son as well because he's enjoyed playing with this. So at least part of this is going to be open for him. There's some pieces that go with the Medieval Market Square there that I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with, but at least I'm going to keep this building open so that he has access to that as well. I know what you're probably thinking right now. That is a lot of blue, but we're going to be filling a lot of that in with terrain. We're going to add some hills and some farmland, and we're going to make the river that you see there, we're going to extend that river down through the middle of that blue there, and then we're going to run it to what's going to be the dock on the side of the Lion's Night Castle. So we'll be adding a dock there and hopefully getting into some shipbuilding as well in the future. So that's our plan over the next year or so. And the last, but certainly not least, this is the Knights Tournament set from 1981. The set really brings back some memories from my childhood here. And one of my best friends in the world, we've been best friends for over 30 years at this point. He was in town visiting and he found this in his parents' attic and he wanted to pass this on to my son. He's a big fan of what we're doing, big fan of Lego, and he's been following our channel, and he wanted to make sure that it found a good home. So we cannot wait to open this up, and once we have the terrain set up here for the village for the Lion's Night Castle, we're going to go ahead and add it to the table. So if you're out there, buddy, thank you so much for this. Can't wait to get it set up. And that's it for this episode. Be sure to follow us if you want to get updates as we work to make this side of the table look a little bit more like this side of the table. And until next time, happy building.